Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rail back with another motherfucking reaction. It's not a review. I wish it was. Reviews are so much fun. This shit here is just, this be so baffling to me. Now, I'm pretty sure, right? Because I know my people, is probably sitting there wondering, like, damn, Rail just gonna let this whole Joe Rogan shit fly? When it was first about COVID, right? And the whole Neil Young situation, Neil Young dipping, Spotify saying, whatever, we just gonna put some warning labels like, parental advisory or explicit or MA on video games and shit when it comes to COVID shit, and then we'll send you a link. I'm like, okay. Because when it comes to me and the COVID vaccine or these little hoaxes or shit like that, it's above my pay grade. Okay? I take information from where I get it. I ain't nobody to tell you to get vaccinated, and I damn sure ain't nobody to tell you not to. So, I stay in my lane. So I hear that, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Interesting. Neil Young ain't nothing to fuck with. I know I'm not a huge fan, but I can appreciate a man's category. And then somebody went the extra mile when they saw Joe Rogan's name pop, which I was so weird. It was so weird to me. This whole N-word compilation, apparently, that, and we know it wasn't, because it wasn't no black person that made this compilation. I'm 100% positive on that, and I don't know shit. Somehow I'm 100% positive no black person had anything to do with the making of this video, right? And I don't know who did it, who had the time to go through videos and just cut these up. Y'all seen it? Ain't no need for me to play it here. I'm more so here about the apology vid. And I was like, N-word. And then I saw the compilation. I said, God damn. Hard R's every rip, right? I was like, hey, this nigga Joe is letting it rock comfortably. On mic, I said, okay. I don't know what he's saying about it. It's just him saying the actual word. It's still nasty. It's still nasty. That's why the whole N-word, the whole thing was created. So that but N-word really just means nigga. Like, we know what you're saying. But I guess if you have to have a conversation about it, you got to narrow it down, because if you just say, well, he called this black person a racial slur, it could be moon cricket, porch monkey, it's a bunch of creative shit. What the motherfucker I heard somebody called black people fucking, something about some type of vegetable, like an eggplant? Eggplant was like derogatory for niggas, and now, you use it when you trying to give shorty the pipe. So, I don't know. But my initial thing was like, oh, let me turn this computer on, let me go. But I wanted more information, right? Because, y'all know I'm not the type to jump out the window. I need to get a word that we're going to talk about today called context. And y'all know how big I am on context. So I was willing to hear him out. And I think that I'm going to be able to provide y'all with like maybe a different take, maybe something that y'all wasn't quite peeping. So let's start with his apology. I know you've seen it. You're not going to see the whole thing. It's just certain things I'd like to touch on.
Talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. Mm-hmm. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my...
Remember that. 12 years of conversation taken out of context. We're here to talk about context. He's going to help me out.
And it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible.
It does look pretty bad.
Now, I know that to most people, there is no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now.
He agrees with it now, but not then. Okay, growth. Okay, 12 years. Okay, let's go. I'm still with you, Joe.
Years. But for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word.
Right.
As long as it was in context.
He said, yeah, okay. He said, instead of just saying the N-word like people in professional settings or podcast world or media world, instead of just saying the N-word like most people would, I went ahead and said, it should be cool if I say nigger if I'm, as long as it's with a context. And I'm like, He already touched on it and said, well, to some, using it in any context is bad. True. But he knows that now. He ain't know that then, but he knows it now. Okay.
People would understand what I was doing. Like, that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox. How Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s.
Okay.
How times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor
Red Fox is black.
one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit. Or
Black.
I was quoting a Paul Mooney bit.
Black.
I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction. Or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him.
That's typically what happens.
Calling anybody or just saying the word out loud.
It's unprofessional.
I was also talking about how there's not another word like in the entire English language.
Okay, so it is so far. This is what I've gathered from this portion, right? Now that he has put some context in between all these clips. Now, it was a lot more, he said the word a lot more times than just what he was explaining these situations. And a lot of them had to do with black people using nigga, right? And it just seems to me like you have a lot of conversations about the N-word. Like, this is a very fascinating subject for Joe. Like, 12 years worth, like, this nigga loves nigga conversations. Like, just the word, he loves the word. I'm about to show you. Look at the love.
Because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways.
And they could use it in so many different ways. Yeah, okay. It's a black word. We use it. It's ours. Okay.
If a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic. Person says that word, it's racist and toxic.
Yes.
But a black person can use it, and it could be a punchline.
Yes.
It could be a term of endearment.
Yes.
It could be lyrics to a rap song.
Yes.
It could be a positive affirmation.
Sure.
It's a very unusual word. But it's not my word to use.
Okay.
I'm well aware of that now, but...
He's well aware of that now. He's got it. He's got a stranglehold on it. It was just fascinating to him. These niggas can use it for anything, but if a white person do it, and at first I thought he was finna get into the plight of the white man with being able to just do whatever he want, but it's just this one word he can't seem to have, and he wants so badly. I thought he was finna go there with it. I felt that energy, but he just kind of went, it's just a fascinating word, so fuck it. Okay. Cool. We got this part. This ain't even, I'm not even mad. I'm not mad. I can't call this man racist. I would never call somebody racist because as it stands for me, I've never met a racist. Now, hear me out. I know racism exists. I've felt the presence of racist in my face, racism. You know what I'm saying? But yet and still, I haven't seen a racist at all. Have y'all? I mean, like, literally, who have we been able to point out and go, that man's a racist? I mean, outside of like black and white footage, when clearly, mowing down just peaceful marching black people with fire hoses unleashing dogs, that's pretty racist. I mean, then you got the pictures of niggas hanging and you got little white children, everybody's excited, like, hey, look what we just caught. Like, what do you mean? So yeah, we could point those photos and go, yeah, those people are racist, but now, who are the racists? Who are they? Because, I mean, leave it up to them. And, we're just out of context. It's not that anybody is racist. It's just that we're not understanding the context of which they are doing things and saying things and using these derogatory terms. It's just, we ain't got the context of it all. Right? So that got me to thinking, like, is it that these people are racist? Subconsciously, consciously, don't give a fuck, let it ride till you get caught? Or is it that none of them are racist and it's just that us blacks just don't seem to, and a lot of whites and other people, maybe it's just a lot of people that just don't understand the context in which these certain individuals use these words, right? So I'm like, let's go do a context search. Because I wasn't mad at this part. Okay, he said, look, as far as I'm concerned, Joe is really fascinated with the word nigga, and he wants to talk about it every chance he gets and say it. And okay, God bless, whatever, right? But there was this other part of this apology that had me a little fucked up. But yet again, it sounded like a racist story, sounded like a racist joke, but goddamn if I didn't understand the context. Let's skip right to that part.
There's a clip from 11 years ago.
Okay, 11.
I was telling a story in the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia.
Okay, they got really high. Good night so far. Yeah, in Philly.
We went to go see Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
and
great film.
We didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab, and we got dropped off in this all-black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I.
This is the part that had me fucked up. My man said, I was trying to make the story more interesting. I mean, more interesting than it already was. You, two friends, fucked up, dropped off somewhere randomly, ends up being an all-black neighborhood. That sounds pretty interesting so far. What happened next? But no, that wasn't good enough for Joe. He said, it's like we're in Africa. This motherfucker looks around, sees a bunch of black people, and was like, this feels like Africa. Actually, this is like Planet of the Apes. What? Okay, what? There's more to it though, clearly.
Never say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that.
Yeah, I sure did.
I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa.
Was it?
I was just saying, there's a lot of black people there. I went on to...
Nigga said... Wait, I want y'all to remember what he said. I'm just going to back it up just a little bit. The man said, okay, I was not calling black people apes. And then he said he sat with it and was like, that's racist. That sounds racist. I didn't mean that. I was just trying to say it was a bunch of black people there. But you said you was dropped in an all-black neighborhood. One would assume as much. An all-black neighborhood and you noticed it? I mean, you just... But listen to what he said, though, about the racism part. Because we're going to dig into context in this video.
I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that.
It did?
And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say.
He says it's racist.
Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa.
Acknowledge that.
There's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Guys, I was up in arms about nothing. The nigga came in, pulled up a bunch of black folks. He was amazed. Oh, this is Africa. Fuck that. This is Planet of the Apes. Then he was like, that might come out. That people might not understand. I was just trying to say it's a bunch of black folks around. Okay, but anyway, if y'all just stuck around for more context, I was really just getting to the point of I had a really great time. Those apes, them black folks were really a good time. Like, I really had fun. We escaped with our lives. I mean, it was regular, right? I totally expected that the whole time to have a great time with black people. So, duh, I'm not racist.
It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said, you can have clunky stories.
No, he said it's not a racist story.
But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said, you can have clunky stories about anything, but not about race. And so I deleted that whole podcast, but obviously somebody made a clip out of it and...
He deleted it, right? He said it was racist, sounded bad, boom. Then he goes ahead and say, it's not a racist story. Joe, you literally just said it was racist and it was bad. And then you said it wasn't a racist story. But then you thought, fuck that. I'm not, no, I'm deleting it. I don't know what I was on that day. I don't know. Freudian? Freudian, maybe? You know what I'm saying? But, okay. So back to my context point. Does any of this make Joe a racist? Or is it that we just don't understand context for those of us who feel that there's some racism in him? Maybe, at the very least, he's racial, right? At the very least, he's racial. He acknowledges black people being around so much so that it's fucking Africa and it's fucking Planet of the Apes. But you know what? That context word, because I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all some clips of other individuals taken out of context that we deemed racist. And by the way, nothing happened to none of them, you know. But because they're not racist, obviously. We just, you know. So I just want to show y'all a few things of maybe what context is and why we may have a problem understanding it. I would like to bring up good old everybody's favorite bounty hunter outside of Boba Fett and fucking Mando. The next best thing in bounty hunting, the bounty hunter. But I mean, you know, come on, let's. This is another one of those context situations. Let's see what happened.
It's because we use the word nigger sometimes here.
Ooh, out the gate. Hold on, let me give some context to this. He's going to get into it later on, but this is Dog the Bounty Hunter. A recording of Dog the Bounty Hunter talking to his son and explaining to him how if he's going to date this woman of color, he cannot work at the same company as Dog and the rest of the family. He has to break up with her, okay, for these reasons. This is the context of the conversation that clearly we didn't understand, though. But come on.
I'm going to take a chance ever in life of losing everything I've worked for 30 years because some fucking nigger heard us say nigger and turned us into the Inquirer magazine. Our career is over. I'm not taking that chance at all. Never in life. Never. Never. If Lisa was dating a nigger, we would all say, fuck you. And you know that. If Lisa brought a black guy home, and it's not that they're black. It's none of that. It's that we use the word nigger. We don't mean you fucking scum nigger without a soul. We don't mean that shit. But America would think we mean that. And we're not taking a chance on losing everything we got over a racial slur. Because our son goes with the girl like that. I can't do that, Tucker. You can't expect Gary, Bonnie, Cecily, all them young kids because I'm in love for 7 months. I fuck that. So I'll help you get another job, but you cannot work here unless you break up with her and she's out of your life.
Now, Dog said, you can't date no nigger because we say nigger, and then you bring her around, and we use nigger in this household. And then he went ahead and told us, like, it's not that we mean you soulless, scum of the earth, fucking shiftless, fried chicken, watermelon eating, tax burden on America, fucking nigger. No, we just mean, you know, you black nigger, you fucking nigger. But you cannot date her. Now, one would think, like, goddamn. If there was any type of racist, if there was a racist person, it'd probably be Dog, right? We found one. It's in the recording. He told his white son he couldn't date a woman of color. We're not even sure if she was Latina or black or whatever, but she was a woman of color. So he was like, you got to break up with her. And your sister, you think we're going to let her bring some nigger home? No, you thought that'd be cool? No, you can't do it. All because you've been in love for 7 months. And then he gets to naming every fucking family member that would have a problem with him dating a person of color. But, and I went fucking found one. 35 years on Earth, found Dog the Bounty Hunter, the fucking racist. But god damn it, It was out of context. And this is his apology to let us know that it's not what y'all think it is.
Deeply disappointed in myself for speaking out of anger to my son and using such a hateful term in a private phone conversation. I have the utmost respect and aloha for Black people who have already suffered so much due to racial discrimination and acts of hatred. I know that all my fans are deeply disappointed in me as well, as I have tried to be a model for doing the right thing. Chapman says the conversation was taken out of context and was disappointed in his son's choice of friend, not due to her race, but her character.
Dog said, y'all got it fucked up. It was a private conversation between me and my son, first and foremost. And I was saying this not because of not because of the color of her skin, but the content of her character. Y'all all out of context. It wasn't that she was a nigger because she was Black. She was a nigger because of her attitude. She had just a niggery... She just has such a niggery attitude. And that can't be, that cannot be, no, we can't have that in the family. I just didn't like her attitude. It was so niggery. It wasn't, she wasn't a nigger because she was Black. Oh, God. Love Black people. Aloha. It's just that niggery attitude that we don't like. I didn't know that nigga was also an adjective for an attitude. Should I continue? Yeah, let's go. Let's keep going. Because it's... And you know what? That's context for you, right? When you think you know context. And then it's this whole I'm not racist thing out of context. Let's just continue. Now, does everybody remember good old lovable Kramer from Seinfeld? Many, many years ago. He too had a problem with context. You know, in one of his nigger debacles. It's just context, people. Because Kramer wasn't racist, obviously. But let's just take a trip down memory lane.
Years ago, they had you upside down with a fucking fork up your ass.
By the way, that first part, he said, 50 years ago, we would have you hung upside down with a fork up your ass. Okay? I just don't want because I don't want them to be taken out of context. Just so we understand that.
You can talk your brain now, motherfucker. Roll his ass out. He's a nigger. He's a nigger. Oh my God. A nigger, look, there's a nigger. All right.
Yeah, so 50 years ago, we would have hung you upside down, stuck a fork up your ass, and somebody throw his ass out of here. He's a nigger, he's a nigger, he's a nigger, he's a nigger. And I said yet again, fucking found him. And I was sick too, because I like Seinfeld, and Kramer was hilarious. So this really hurt my soul, because I was like, it's been taking me forever to fucking find a racist. And then the second I find one, when I thought I had dog by the collar, god damn it, he ain't racist. He wasn't talking about skin color, motherfucker. He was talking about attitudes. And then I'm like, so shit, dog got off the hook. Dog probably arrested a nigga yesterday. His career's fine. So then I'm like, god damn it, Kramer. You done went crazy. You done said, nigga, now you're the racist of all people. You're the racist. This hurt. I never watched Dog the Bounty Hunter. Fuck him. But you, Kramer, on Seinfeld, you're the racist. But no, his apology, when he went live and had his apology, it wasn't that he was racist. Because he's not. It was context, people. Context. The apology.
You know, I know blacks could feel, I'm not a racist. That's what's so insane about this. And yet, it's said. It comes through. It fires out of me. And even now in the passion and the that's
He's not racist. It's just the passion, and he was going ahead and quoting the anger and the fury and to the blacks. To the blacks. It just comes out. Y'all not understanding, man. There's context to this shit, man. He's not racist. Okay? Fuck. He's not racist. It's just sometimes you get so upset you just gotta scream nigger. You know what I'm saying? I usually scream fuck. Especially when I hit my toe in like the middle of the night. Like shit. And I might get spicy like, you motherfucking some bitch. Something like that. But for him, it's just nigger. It just,
I know blacks could feel I'm not a racist. That's what's so insane about it.
It's just so insane.
And yet, it's sad. It comes through. It fires out of me. And even now in the passion and the that's.
Oh, just cringy. But he's not racist. Just another poor white brethren taken out of context. Black folks, see, this is our problem, man. Racism don't exist no more, people. It's dead. Let's drop all these laws and shit. It's over with. Okay? It's not racism. It's context. I guess as blacks, we just ain't doing a good enough job understanding context. Right? That's the real issue here. Nobody's racist. But to sum the whole thing up, right? And I don't know anything about Joe Rogan. I'm not a fan of his. I don't watch his podcast. There's nothing for me personally to cancel. I haven't listened to one. I just knew he was a UFC nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I believe there was one more part to his apology. But I think it was just him saying that he's not racist, which is whatever. But it's the people that support. It's like you say these things, certain people call you racist, right? Clearly you're not, because it's just out of context. We had that whole conversation. But then there's another group of motherfuckers who show you support. And that's where the nastiness comes from, right? Where's your support coming from? And, you got this company Rumble who was fucking offering him $100 million, a Canadian group offering him $100 million for all his episodes. And Spotify said, no, we sticking with him. We just gonna dump these episodes. They dropped like 70 episodes or some shit like that. It just kills me, the energy that is not kept. And I wouldn't even say nothing if I didn't feel a way about Whoopi's situation. And she didn't say anything malicious, didn't use any racial slurs, and I don't even think that she was 100% incorrect in her definition of race. I looked up the definition of race. It said the meaning started off as a social group. Some people believe in similar things. And then it elevated into race becoming skin color, facial features, right? And just Whoopi was just like, I don't think Hitler was racially motivated. Everybody was white there. I think his motivation was pure evil, inhumanity. She was literally denouncing fucking Hitler and the whole thing and the plight that the Jews went through. But she used she said because she didn't felt like it was racism, like race wasn't the issue, she's supposed to get suspended for 2 weeks. Is Whoopi the racist? Is it not Kramer, Dog, or Joe? It was Whoopi this whole time? And Joe, no. CEO stands by him $100 million. Kramer still writing, doing something. Dog still hog tying niggas with a mullet. It's just, it's the inconsistency is what doesn't sit well with me. And what can you say, man? It is what it is. So yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. But protect your health, yourself, your wealth. All right? Your boy is out of here, man. Peace.